So what about group are little bits of ink on the page, lines in the sand, wherever you're writing this stuff down. They're extra characters that hold numbers and signs together, either to show something special happening or to say, do this in this order. Grouping symbols include parentheses, which are basic, common, everyday grouping symbols. You've seen them before. They're lurking around just like cockroaches. They're everywhere. Parentheses, they're not really out to get you. They're out to help you. So let's think about this. If you want to use parentheses to show what order to do something, this says add 3 plus 5 before you add 7. Now, because of the properties of mathematics, it would come out the same no matter where you put those. So let's make it into something that would make a difference. If I say 10 minus 3 plus 5. Now, because of the properties of mathematics, the grouping symbols are necessary to have the same answer that we would if we did it any other way. It wouldn't come out quite the same. So the grouping symbol says, do the parentheses first. 3 plus 5. 3 plus 5 becomes 8. 10 minus 8. We all know that one. It's just 2. So grouping symbols can be used to show what order you want stuff done in. Yeah, I did say that there was something else we could do with the grouping symbols. There we are, -6 inside the parentheses. What is the parentheses doing with that 6? It's showing that the sign goes with the number, that they are a partnership. They go together. They are the mac and the cheese, the peanut butter and the jelly, I don't know. Okay, so I really couldn't come up with a good example there. Maybe it's the Snoop with the dog. Whatever it is. You can't break it apart. That negative goes with the 6. They're buddies. Oh, like Sam and Dean, the brothers on my shirt. So, anyway, the negative and the 6, they go together. If I said 18 minus 6, that wouldn't work. Because 18 minus 6 is doing 2 operations at once. And that'd be like if your surgeon was trying to remove your appendix while doing a kidney transplant on somebody else. That's a bad idea. You want your surgeon focused on you. We want our math focused. So we have to do 1 operation at a time, and that's cool because this doesn't show 2 operations. This shows 18 minus 6, negative. The negative goes with the 6. Think of it sometimes as not a negative sign, but rather as the opposite. We are subtracting the opposite of 6. Okay, Mr. Starling. So, because we've got the grouping symbols there, that tells us 18 minus a -6. Different signs, positive, negative. Different signs subtract. We're already subtracting. But there is no such thing as subtraction. We should remember that. There is no such thing as subtraction when it comes to combining integers. Add the opposite. That becomes addition. That becomes the opposite of -6, or the opposite of 6. If I find the opposite of 6, I find 6. 18 plus 6, of course, is just 24, so poof. No big deal. But what other kinds of grouping symbols will we encounter? I call them Minecraft brackets. They're the square brackets. Some folks will just call them square brackets. I like to call them the Minecraft brackets because everything in Minecraft is blocky and square. Just like Huey Lewis. So, just like Huey Lewis, they're square. There's these squiggly brackets. I am confident your English teacher knows something else to call these. The squiggly brackets, I call them mustache brackets. I don't know what the squiggly brackets are supposed to be called. There's a fancy word for it. I think it starts with a P. It might be French. Ask your English teacher. Or, be like me, call the squiggly brackets a mustache bracket, because they look like they ought to be all proper and cheerio and good day, sir. I say to you, good day. But square brackets, squiggly brackets, parentheses, they all get used the same way. There is one grouping symbol that has a special property, though. The grouping symbol that does different things than all the other grouping symbols is, wait for it, absolute value. The absolute value bars function like a grouping symbol because anything that's happening inside the absolute value bars has to happen before you can take that stuff outside. It's like putting on your socks before you go. You know, you don't want to be running around in your sneakers without your socks because then your sneakers will stink extra. And that's a little extra. So if I have 3 minus 7 inside my absolute value bars, I now have a math problem inside there. We have to calculate what is 3 minus 7. There is no such thing as subtraction. There is only adding the opposite. 3 plus negative 7. Got to have the big bar, otherwise it might look like a 13. 3 plus negative 7. We are adding the opposite. Same sign, keep an add. Signs are different. Different signs we subtract. There's no such thing as subtraction. And we use the sign of the bigger number. Which number is furthest from 0? The number furthest from 0 here is the negative 7. So we'll use that symbol. Boom. And what is our answer? Negative 4. This is not the answer to the problem. Don't do this. We had absolute value bars on it. So we're looking for the absolute value of the opposite of 4. How far is 4 from 0? Absolute value is the distance from 0. Absolute value is the distance from 0. So distance is always positive. You can't run negative 8 miles. Sometimes I think that I'm in such good shape that I've been running a negative distance. You can't drive negative 400 miles. Roll back the odometer and illegally sell your car with lower miles on it than it actually has. Nope. If that was a thing, you'd see people all the time driving down the road in reverse, looking over their shoulder. That's dangerous. So, the distance from 0, always positive. Ka-chow.